Hey everyone, Steven here from Redolescence and welcome back to another fragrance review. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And in this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the newest release by the company Paul Gaultier. And this one, a 2015 release, goes by the name Ultra Male. So here's the bottle, shaped like a man's torso. The perfumer behind this composition is, of course, Francis Kurkdjian. Francis Kurkdjian has also worked on the original Le Male, which was released in 1995. 20 years now, it's been such a long time, that's quite fascinating. He has also worked on many of the other flankers, if not all of the other flankers, and there are a ton of them. And one of the more recent ones is, of course, Le Beau Male, which was released a few years ago. Now Francis Kurkdjian has his own luxury company called Maison Francis Kurkdjian, which is where he releases luxury high-end fragrances. Now there seems to be sort of an ultra trend in the community and the industry as of late, what with the release of Thierry Mugler's Angelman Ultra Zest, and now we have Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. And if ultra is a skill for delineating the sweetness of a particular scent, I think in the case of this fragrance it's actually quite fitting. This fragrance is classified as an Oriental Fougere, and next up, let's take a look at the presentation. The fragrance comes in this cylindrical aluminum tin. You have the name of the company embossed here at the top, the Ultra Male logo down here at the bottom, nothing going on at the top, and the base comes off to reveal this podium on which the fragrance rests, and you have the Paul Gaultier logo engraved on the inside. On the bottom you have the UPC and the serial number as well as some other information, and that's it as far as the box goes. Now as far as the bottle goes, you have that iconic Le Male torso. It has a nice black and blue color palette. It has the male profile here. You have a stopper below the atomizer to prevent it from spraying. You release that in the atomizer, the distribution is great, and you can actually control how much you want to spray. On the bottom here you have some more information which should coincide with the ones found on the tin, and that was a presentation for Ultra Male by Paul Gaultier. One of my subscribers, Sai, writes, Ultra Male is the new king of clubbing. Carlos was pleasantly surprised going in with no high expectations. Michael thinks this is a very sweet fragrance, could easily be unisex. The pear brings the sweetness, it mellows as the vanilla blends with it, it's a nice 8 out of 10. My fiance Jen actually likes this one. It does have a designer quality to it, but with a twist. She calls this one a lady pleaser. My friend Eric says it smells like cotton candy at first, and my other subscriber Matthew says that there are better ones besides this one. Now as soon as you spray this fragrance, right away you're going to be reminded of fragrances like 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, Invictus by Paco Rabanne, even Black Excess by Paco Rabanne, as well as the original Le Male. And the reason for that is because this is a very sweet fragrance. As a matter of fact, I have to agree with my good friend Sai and fellow YouTube fragrance reviewer when he said that this could potentially be the next ultimate clubbing fragrance. I definitely see that, but not only that, it stands out from other fragrances in the competition. Fragrances like Le Male and Invictus, which are dubbed as bubblegum scents. This one doesn't really possess too much of a bubblegum vibe, although it is heavily sweet. So what you get in the opening is a lot of vanilla. That vanilla is also a part of an amber accord. You get some spices in there like cinnamon and cumin. Thankfully, there isn't enough cumin to give this fragrance a body odor vibe. I know cumin has that reputation, but there is a lot of cinnamon. So if you're not a fan of cinnamon, this could potentially be one that you have to keep off your radar. In the dry down, it's not listed as a note, but I pick up on a lot of tonka bean, which allows that sweetness to be prolonged in the base of the composition, and it actually augments or enhances the sweet facets and nuances of this composition. You also get a little bit of lavender in there, which is why this fragrance is classified as an Oriental Fougere. Just enough lavender to make it slightly evocative of the original, but I do think this could have very well been a standalone scent. They could have given it its own packaging, own bottle design, even a unique name. It didn't necessarily have to be a flanker of the original. So I must warn you guys, just because you like the original doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like this one, because they do smell different enough for this to warrant a purchase if you don't want something that's redundant. Additionally, it also has a note called eugenol. Again, it's not listed as a note, but eugenol is an organic compound that is found in bay leaf as well as clove. And guess what other fragrance contains bay leaf? Invictus by Paco Rabanne, which I think is what allows for the comparisons between these two to happen. But again, it's not a carbon copy, it's not an imitation, it's its own fragrance, so you definitely have to sample this one out. Now the last note that I definitely have to mention in this one, among the vanilla and the lavender and the spices, is the note of pear. Now pear is an ingredient that's used in a lot of women's perfumes. It's used in Jimmy Choo for her, a fragrance called Wasabi Pear by Nest. It's used in a Victoria's Secret perfume, as well as the women's version, Classique. Now in this fragrance, it's used in a very modest concentration, enough so that you can smell it, but not so much that it's girly or anything like that. And I think it gives it that really nice dimension to the composition, allows it to stand out among other sweet fragrances in the competition. I really like this composition. I think Francis Kurkdjian did an excellent job with this one. I'm going to tell you guys whether I prefer this one or the original, but I have to finish off by saying that this has a very high compliment factor. Even my fiance called this one a lady pleaser, and when I was wearing it, she could not separate herself from me. Let's check out the rating. First up, we have uniqueness and overall smell, and I gave this fragrance an 8 out of 10. Now this is a very sweet scent with that nice addition of the note of pear, which allows it to stand out from other fragrances in that same genre. However, some people might find this one to be just a little bit too sweet or too cloying. Next up, we have longevity, and it earned a 10 out of 10. You will get 12 plus hours on your skin. This is an excellent, long-lasting scent. As far as projection, I also gave this one a 10 out of 10. This one radiates beyond an arm's length for about 3 to 4 hours, and then it starts to sit closer to the skin, but it never fully becomes a skin scent. As far as versatility goes, this one is a 6 out of 10. It's a unisex scent, even though it's marketed for men. I think this one would work best on a younger crowd. I think this one could work very well casually, and definitely on a night out if you're going to a party or clubbing or something like that. I just perhaps wouldn't wear this one in a suit and tie dress formally. As far as seasons, you can wear this one in the colder weather, fall and winter. And last up, we have presentation. I know some people find it chic, some people find it kitschy. It's a love it or hate it, polarizing presentation, but I gave this one a 9 out of 10. And overall, I'm going to give Ultra Male by Paul Gaultier an 8 out of 10. I still prefer the original. I think the original has an iconic smell, very well balanced ingredients. This one is a little bit on the sweet side, like I mentioned, but I think it's a different enough scent to warrant a purchase, and it may just be the new king of clubbing fragrances. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Ultra Male and Paul Gaultier. If you own or have tried this scent, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. So again, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Radolescence. We'll see you soon.